Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a great segment. And first and foremost, my thoughts and my prayers go out to Julian Assange. I hope he's safe. I hope he continues to remain safe. I do not want him arrested. I do not want him in any danger at all because he's the epitome of truth. Or I should say he's a publisher who publishes the epitome of truth. So it is not a crime to learn about the disgusting, corrupt behavior, the criminal and unethical behavior that your government or political party is engaging in. It is not a crime. That's not a crime. The crime is actually cheating Bernie Sanders and his voters that have $200 million. That's a crime. The crime is, well, there's a million crimes that have been published by WikiLeaks. Instead of getting upset at WikiLeaks, instead of Hillary Clinton or the DNC or Democrats or people in the Bush administration or establishment Republicans, instead of them saying, oh my God, oh my God, how dare WikiLeaks? What they should do is simply fix or address the corruption exposed in the WikiLeaks emails. How about that? And since people don't want to address the corruption, we have now Congress. So hopefully Congress can address these issues. If people paid attention to all the insanity that was documented by the words in English of Podesta, of Hillary Clinton, of Debbie Wasserman Schultz, then Congress would not have had to go through all of these steps. Huge breakthrough. Republicans need to embrace Julian Assange. President Trump, at least he said, I love Julian Assange. People are like, well, Trump's so great. What's happening? This is all fueled by Hillary Clinton, the Democratic Party. If, God forbid, he's arrested, the only people happy, the only people cheering will be Democrats. And they fabricated Trump Russia with a Steele dossier and a drunken conversation and bogus intelligence reports from GCHQ. $35 billion wasn't enough, so we had to rely on GCHQ. The combined budget of the intelligence, FBI, CIA, and NSA, they didn't have any intelligence, so what did they do? They went to the Steele dossier. And Hillary Clinton purchased the Steele dossier. So there you go. 3 minutes in, we're approaching 400. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Scabicide 666, thank you. And everyone, thank you to my super chat. You help keep this channel, or this, I should say, the live streams. Give me every incentive to rock the live streams. Mark Meadows, this is just, what, a couple of minutes back. Big breakthrough. Huge breakthrough. Potentially groundbreaking development here. The Carter Page FISA docs should be declassified and further unredacted, protecting only sources and methods. 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 Hillary had an unencrypted server in her basement. Enough with the sources and methods. She made a complete mockery of the intelligence community. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. This whole, we as an intelligence community, we have to be nice to them. We have to make sure they're okay. Are you okay? Were you okay? You were wrong about the Gulf of Tonkin and WMD and the Arab Spring and 9/11 and everything else you failed to predict, or you were just flat out wrong about. But are you okay? We don't want to bother you. This reverence for people who are unelected. We pay their salaries. Fine. What's the problem? Just do your job. You have James Comey, you have Peter Strzok, you have Clapper and Brennan both lied under oath. They should face perjury charges. And Rand Paul just ripped them both a new one. Rand Paul ripped Wolf Blitzer a new one, but it's like Wolf Blitzer is like completely oblivious, so he didn't realize he was getting burned. Space Ghost 1. This needs to be fixed. Instead of kowtowing to donors and bought-out politicians, we need honesty, integrity in Congress and the White House judicial system. The constant banging of heads is tiresome. Fix it. 100% Space Ghost. Ebenezer Adams. Today's Thomas Paine. Give me ambiguity or give me something else. Exactly. Space Ghost 1. Slowly but surely. Janice Webb. Hi, HA. What can an ordinary person do for Julian Assange? Well, after this segment, please go ahead and just watch Unity for Julian. It's the YouTube channel, Unity for Julian. Just think of the Dave Chappelle Unity, and what with the what's the Unity, that skit with Rick James. I'm Rick James. Unity for Julian. Follow Susie Dawson. Follow, I'll tell you exactly who to follow. Follow WikiLeaks, but also Janice on Twitter. Elizabeth Voss and Susie Dawson are two of the leaders, if not the two leaders. Follow Mrs. Christine Assange, so at Assange Mrs. And I was very, very honored that Mrs. Christine Assange retweeted my Daily Caller article, Free Julian Assange, that was written a couple months ago. But I wrote in 2016, right after Trump won, President Trump should pardon Julian Assange. That was in 2016. Follow at Assange Mrs. at ASSANGEMRS. Okay. So Janice, follow on Twitter, follow Unity for Julian. So hold on one second. At Unity 4J. So at Unity number 4J. Elizabeth Voss. At Elizabeth Lee Voss, Lea Voss, VOS. Susie Dawson. At Susie, SUZI 3, number 3, D. At Susie 3D. I mean, there's other, you can follow, obviously, the Assange page, Julian Assange, but those are the people I would suggest, because they'll give you, like, everything going on. Obviously, follow WikiLeaks as well. Julian Assange has a page run by his supporters as well, because, he used to have his own Assange Twitter site, but now he cannot communicate anymore. They've, cut his internet access and his ability to communicate. But Space Ghost 1, you're 100% right. And it's slowly coming out. We're going to get to the redacted memos that Congress wants to be unredacted. Trump needs to declassify the memo quickly. And then we need to unleash the GOHMERT, no sickle J. Yes. So absolutely. So Mark Meadows, potentially groundbreaking development here. The Carter Page FISA docs should be declassified and further unredacted, protecting only sources and methods. Okay, sources and methods. Oh, here we go with the sources and methods. Here's a newsflash, okay? Everything that was on Clinton's server was funneled to a third party, according to the Inspector General. Not Horowitz, Charles McAuliffe. The guy who said, hey, wait a second, there's classified information here. Why wouldn't there be? Hillary is going to get charged. It's just a matter of when. Clinton did commit crimes. Assange is a publisher. Big difference. You go after Assange, Washington Post, New York Times is next. Every once in a while, they dabble in journalism. And when that happens, they'll get also convicted and or arrested. If the previous admin was funneling campaign research towards surveillance, we need to know. It was. It's in your face. It's obvious. All of this is obvious. So Tom Fitton, Judicial Watch. Judicial Watch now has Carter Page's FISA docs. They are heavily redacted, but seem to confirm the FBI and DOJ misled the courts in withholding information about Clinton DNC being behind the info used to get the FISA warrant. Hillary Clinton purchased the FISA warrant. Very simple to understand. The DNC chose CrowdStrike and outsourced their preferred tech firm to then corroborate the nonsense that they were spewing. Pretty overt fabrication. This isn't like, some kind of really great Ebenezer Adams, Tuba Skinny, or two-man gentleman band. It is Saturday. At least give us background music. That's all. You know what? I'll upload. I went to Oak Tree today, and I'll upload. I was obviously do not don't do anything I do at home. But I went to the pistol range. Carrie Knutson, thank you, Carrie Knutson, thank you. Went to the pistol range, and which is right near the rifle range. It's really amazing, beautiful, and I was 150 rounds I shot, but there's only I actually had one of the very nice staff there just go ahead and video me twice. So it's cool. You'll see me shooting my new purchase, the CZ97B. Great firearm. Very, very fun. A little bit somewhat difficult to handle, but I like it better than the Glock 21. I like it. Well, yeah. But anyway, Paul Clank. My bank balance was $8 today. No worries. I did a quick transfer. Paul Clank. Yes, I've been spending a lot lately. Addicted to Super Chat. Every dollar well spent. Keep up the magnificent work. Paul Clank, you have a fantastic personality and you're awesome. Thank you so much for your support of this channel. Paul Clank, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Assange can't be pardoned. The DOJ will only process applications for people who have federal criminal convictions and they have to live in the U.S. Let me go ahead and, from what I understand, the president can pardon anyone even before being convicted of a crime. But let me go ahead and, invest in you. You're probably right. If so, you might be right. I have to check. I have to check that. Just me. July has been an interesting month. Lots of things, important things being revealed. These people are stupid and the chickens are coming home to roost. Don't you love it? I love it. I love it. Just me. The chickens are coming home to roost, but they're coming home at a slow pace, but you're right. See, the Democrats are too stupid to realize like what's going on. Okay, so yeah, I mean, July has been interesting. Lots of things, important things being revealed. These people are stupid. Yes. Let me go ahead. Presidential pardon can. All right. The pardon power of the president extends only to an offense recognizable under federal law. The president shall have the power to grant reprieves and pardons for the offenses against the United States, except in the cases of impeachment. The power to pardon is one of the least limited powers granted to the president. Okay. So Justia.com says, okay, can the president issue a presidential pardon to a non-U.S. citizen such as Julian Assange? Lawyer one. There's one lawyer here. This is not a legal problem-inspired question. It's a political question. With that observation, the answer is yes. The authority in the Constitution of the United States, specifically Article 2, Section 2, which provides that the president shall have the power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. Note that the power is not conferred with respect to the citizens of the United States, but rather with respect to the offenses against the United States. Thus, the president may pardon any citizen for any offense against, pardon any citizen for any offense against the United States. So I believe, cha-ching, cha-ching, I believe it's possible. Space Ghost 1, the movers just moved. The movers picked up a cabinet. When it landed in its spot, they asked, what the heck is this cabinet? I replied, 11,000 rounds of ammo and 10 pounds of reloading powder. Second A, yeah, that's right. Atom bomb 31458. And let me tell you something. Next year, there's like this, all these regulations regarding ammunition, which is fine, whatever. Money trail from Soros to Ecuador, possibly. Atom bomb 31458. Space Ghost 1. So, like I said, I was at the range today, and I have my, the certificate of firearm safety, all that stuff. To purchase, you have to go. I mean, every firearm I've purchased, I have 3 firearms, go background checks and everything. Now they want to go ahead. The firearm safety certificate I have, obviously everyone who owns a firearm has in California or anywhere else, but now they want to go ahead and they want to make you go back through NICS to buy ammo in next year in California, which is like cuckoo, but that's what I have to deal with. So people are buying more ammo now. It's pretty stupid. It's kind of like in New York when they're like, oh, you can't have a big gulp. So people buy 2 large Cokes. They're like, oh, 10 round limit per magazine. Buy 10 magazines. That's not, I'm not saying I do. I'm saying people do. Not advising anyone. I'm saying that's pretty stupid. The logic is like flawed. Law-abiding citizens like me, like you, abide by these crazy, ridiculous laws. The bad guys, people who, commit crimes, they don't abide by laws. You're not going to, hamper them with like these crazy laws. You're going to hamper, you're going to deter, you're going to prevent good people, from enjoying the Second Amendment or protecting themselves or whatever. Art Luede, Ant Luede. Hey, H, I've missed you over the past 3 days. Could you possibly give a quick recap of what's going on right now? As always, love your work. Keep it up. Ant, thank you so very much. Thank you, Ant. Thank you, Ant Luede. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. But Ant Luede, a recap, basically, Julian Assange risks being arrested. They try to find this tape of Trump, basically this tape from Michael Cohen that said that Trump paid off another beautiful, bought ammo in California today, had to give up one testing. Space Ghost 1. That's the new law that comes into effect next year. You should never have been, forced to do that. Montcamp, love your channel. I tell everyone I can about it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Monty. Molenkamp, thank you. Thank you, Monty. Thank you. So Ant, basically what? So he had sex again with another beautiful woman, Trump. But now Michael Cohen said, I've got you on a tape. And Trump's like, no, you don't, and you better chillax before I decline to pardon you. It's probably all an act. Now today they found out every day, and they're finding out more ridiculous nonsense regarding the fabrication called Trump Russia. And oh, by the way, just a minor detail. All of Clinton's emails, aside from 4, were funneled to another foreign power, not Russia. So one can assume it's China. Blake Foster, Ron Rand Paul need to hire a mercenary recovery team to rescue Assange. They can pick him up at which Trump Tower? Pick one. Blake, yeah, I wish, that would be, I hear you on that. Ebenezer Adams, serious question. Repeal the 17th Amendment. Thoughts: 17 enables senators to be elected by vote rather than state house. Has everything to do with Trump talking about the Fed. And I don't want to repeal any amendment at this moment, Ebenezer, just because then you get, oh, you're going to repeal that? Let's repeal the Second Amendment. I know people who want to repeal the Second Amendment, which is, I think absurd and insane and ludicrous, and which is one of the reasons I'm hardcore. I mean, Trump is talking about the Fed. I don't think the Fed will ever be audited, or I don't think he's going to change any of the workings of the Fed, but that's just me. That's one thing, even though I know it's very secretive in the way it's conducted. I just wouldn't want politics involved in that, even though I understand I could be wrong in my assessment. I just don't trust almost everything Congress touches turns to Bandini. So if they mess with that, it would not be good. Blessed Hope sending HA a razor and a big hug. I understand he's upset about Julian Assange. I believe Trump will save him. Thank you, Blessed Hope. Thank you. Thank you, Blessed Hope. Thank you so much. P.O. Briley, thank you. And Lloyd, I should proofread my super chats. No, you're fine. Everybody's fine. Tree climbing, is the CZ a single or double action? It's an automatic handgun. It's double action. Tree climbing, thank you. Thank you, tree climbing. Yes. Blessed Hope sending HA a razor and a big hug. I understand he's upset about Julian Assange. I hope Trump will save him. Don't know what the razor is for. Maybe my 5 o'clock shadow, which is non-existent. P.O. Briley, thank you. So, Crazy Eddie. So, Ebenezer Adams, I can't give you like the most detailed answer other than there is the royal pardon. Yes, last year's touring. Yeah, Papa D. I can't give you probably the best answer you're looking for, but I would veer away, in my view, from repealing any of the amendments. Crazy Eddie, everyone forgets that Dana Rohrabacher went to visit Julian. Wonder if this slow-moving train wreck has a hero's ending. Keep positive. Free Julian. I think it does. So, Crazy Eddie, I agree with you. Look, ladies and gentlemen, almost 1,000 people watching right now, I believe that Julian Assange will eventually be free. I believe he will be victorious. I do believe that 100%. I believe, and I know the writing's on the wall, Hillary will eventually be charged for one of her crimes. Pick a crime, any crime. The insane, maniacal freakout was Jay Sheffield. Please go ahead and just type in H.A. Goodman RT, and then you'll see regarding that topic. H.A. Goodman RT in that topic, and it's probably like one of the most passionate discussions on that topic. But Jasher Fieldlove, thank you. Papa D, that's true. What happened to Alan Turing is one of the most horrible things to ever happen to anyone. The guy was a hero. and just a hero who helped defeat the Nazis, and he was just, what happened to him was one of the most horrific crimes. Yes, it's true. Ladies and gentlemen, so we have 1,003. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. So the president can pardon a non-citizen, and this is important. I'll put that. At least this is what Justia.com says. Obama did not pardon Hillary. I wonder why. Oh, okay, but then there's one Justice Department, but I know, does the president have to go through the Justice Department? That's the question. Non-citizens. So, I mean, one question, and it just got from somebody. So, the Office of Pardon does not accept pardon petitions from non-residents of the United States because of the difficulty and costs associated with the Federal Bureau conducting a thorough background investigation. But if it's just a matter of difficulty and cost, that I don't think would matter for Trump. For your information, we also do not process requests for pardons of the orders of immigration officials. You may want to contact U.S. Department of Homeland Security. So I'm sure the president could go through any legal bureaucratic hoops. But so Patricia Moreno, if anything bad happens to Julian, I will cry it. It would be a day right up in the scale with JFK's passing. I hope you're right about a positive outcome, HA. Thank you, Patricia. Same with me. Same with me. I would cry also. And, according to the Intercept article, it would take about 3 years. So they wouldn't extradite him, if at all, which means that Trump needs to go ahead. If he's ever extradited to the U.S., I would, not vote for Trump. But I think what's going to happen is 2020 would take place before any extradition. Paul Clank, let's all be Trumps and Assange's. Kudos, you fuzzable monster. I want to hug the fuzz off you, Twitter. H.A. Goodcuddle. Paul, was that you on Twitter with that H.A. Goodman cuddly thing? That even was somewhat frightening to me. Thank you, though. The H.A. Goodcuddle had an H.A. Goodcuddle also. Cha-ching, cha-ching. I've sent you my story. That's right. Oh, you did. And links via Twitter message privately. You're from DOJ office. The only thing, cha-ching, cha-ching, the only thing is, that actually is, and I'm going to send you right now to let you know what this source is. Give me your view on that. So I'm just sending this to you right now. So there you go. So I just sent you that. This link says that they can. The link you sent me was a great link. It's actually right from the Justice Department. But it says the Office of the Pardon Attorney does not accept pardon petitions from non-residents only because of the difficulty and costs associated with the FBI conducting a thorough background investigation abroad into the applicant's post-conviction life. So it's a bureaucratic nonsense. We know about Julian Assange's post-conviction life. We know he's been in the embassy. For your information, we also do not process requests for pardons on the order of immigration officials, but they'd be getting it through order from the President of the United States of America. I think what's likely to happen is that Julian Assange will win any UK petitions because he has the United Nations on his side and he has UK law on his side. He did not break any UK laws. He was supposed to show up to court. That is a minor violation. To just try to get people on these minor violations because you don't like them is ridiculous. This type of power that's wielded is not good. The Yahtzee. Thank you. HA is the best camboy ever. Thank you, the Yahtzee. They believe it maybe camera boy or camera person on camera. Thank you, the Yahtzee. Thank you. So we have 1,044 people watching. It's a half an hour in. Share this segment. So they have the FISA documents. Ladies and gentlemen, why haven't they found anything on Carter Page? Why haven't they found anything from George Papadopoulos? Why haven't they found anything from Alexander Downer? Why haven't they found anything from Stefan Halper, the spy? Why haven't they found anything from Professor Mifsud, the professor from Gilligan's Island, the evil one, who you didn't see in the episodes, but he was this evil professor who, by the way, has ties to British intelligence. Why haven't they found anything, not one shred of evidence, and they have churned all of this? You know, this happened and that happened. The suspicion, sorry, I have something in my eye. The suspicion level is insane. Zero suspicion for Hillary, and we just found out her emails were funneled off. So, okay, so Jisheng sent me. So, but the thing is, a 5-year waiting period. I don't know if it's for presidential because presidents, when they pardon it, it's right then and there. I don't know. One link says that you can pardon a non-citizen. The links that I've read here from the Twitter saying there's a lot of bureaucracy involved, but the legality or the constitutional, the powers involved, I think that he's able to do so. So, there's a lot of when people are like, well, it's happening under Trump. Look what Trump is doing. Well, yeah, it is. And guess what? Pompeo retweeted WikiLeaks emails, and Trump like 100 times said, I love WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks. The intelligence community is lying about WikiLeaks, just like they lied about a whole bunch of things. It's just, definitely also watch when this is done, watch Unity for Julian. Definitely watch that. It's here's the link also. Here's the link also. So the bot 2007, the FISA warrant released seems to confirm the FBI DOJ misled the courts in withholding info. Yes, about the Clinton DNC info being tied to the dossier. Absolutely. No, totally. Because it was. Yep. I'm actually DMing Susie Dawson. I don't even know what the schedule is like, but if she would want me to be on Unity for Julian tonight, I'd be honored. I probably should have, but so 9:30 p.m. 45 minutes. Now, but if you wanted, if schedule booked, I totally understand. So, 1,100 people watching. Everyone watching, please go ahead, watch the online visual. Susie Dawson, Elizabeth Voss, Unity for Julian. Just type in Google Unity for Julian or Julian Assange, and you'll get the online visual that's going on right now. But a sojourner, this is how he can do it. Give Assange immediate citizenship as a refugee and pardon him. Simple. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's right. So the FISA warrant was a warrant that was purchased by Clinton. So the FISA warrant was purchased by Clinton. See, this type of thing, they don't care about. So Meadows calls, let me just read this. Meadows calls ex-Trump aide surveillance docs potentially groundbreaking development. I'll go ahead. Here's the link to the 1,111 people watching. I want all 1,000. Please go ahead and watch after this Unity for Julian. And so Meadows calls ex-Trump aide surveillance docs potentially groundbreaking development. House Freedom Caucus Chairman Mark Meadows on Saturday called documents released by the Department of Justice groundbreaking. This is big stuff. This is huge. Absolutely huge. He also called for the declassification of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Applications for surveillance warrants on former Trump campaign advisor Carter Page. I am asking everyone. This is how you help Julian Assange in my mind. In my mind, well, this is how you help defeat the evil forces, the evil political party pushing this nonsense. Democrats have this pathological hatred of the truth. Vote Republican. Vote Republican and vote for Trump. Vote Republican. Evil forces. Vote Republican, vote for Trump. Carter Page is not going to jail. Vote Republican, vote for Trump. I am waiting to see your walkaway vid, Trey. Quit being a slacker. You know what's funny? I did a walkaway vid that apparently nobody has ever seen. I did a walkaway vid. Exactly. Cha-ching, ching. Carter Page has no indictment. Why? A sojourner, Papa D. A sojourner, yes. Ebenezer Adams. Oh, Agent Pepsi. HA, should get a Mossberg 590. I will eventually. Yes, I will eventually. I'm not 100% of the 590, but there's a whole bunch of different other tactical ones and more magazines and ammo. Cleaned out Walmart today for my AK. Nice. What? $4.99 for 40 rounds? How is that possible? How is that possible? Oh, did you get the Agent Pepsi? Did you get the it's like the have like a plastic or a the coated rounds. Forgot what they're called. Yeah, they're actually really good price. Gosh. Hey, Hal, the Unity for J is about to wrap up. Oh, that's Eric H526. It is? I'm so out of it. My mind's like in a blur. It's like a complete blur. Okay. So Ebenezer Adams. The 17th, okay, the 1900s paved the way for income tax and the Fed. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead. Where's my brain going? My brain is all over the place. Ladies and gentlemen, it's huge. It's huge. What can I... hello, testing anyone? JMJ, you sound like me. So, ladies and gentlemen, the whole point of Carter Page had ties to Russia. He had ties to Russia. People have ties to Russia. Meanwhile, money flowed into the Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. All right. So if you look at, so let's go ahead to Judicial Watch. When people don't understand, like, why are you focused on this, AJ? Look at Trump, what he's doing. It's like, well, if he's exposing the disgusting, corrupt people, Strzok poo got GOHMERT, bad. And whereas I have dreamers who are friends, I want them all to be, if I could make all the dreamers citizens like that, I would, like that, snap of a hand. The dreamers. And I've known great people who were undocumented immigrants, beautiful, beautiful human beings. Okay. If as far as I'm concerned, if you don't have a police record, if you've not committed a crime, they give a pathway to citizenship. They say, well, you know what? Go ahead and you have to wait your turn, and fine, have them wait their turn, but give a pathway. A pathway. The documents released by the Department of Justice earlier Saturday were heavily redacted. Of course they were, because what's his name? Dummy. Rod Rosenstein. I'm not doing the redacting, sir. Well, who's doing the redacting? Little elves that look like Jeff Sessions with big markers. The documents released by the Department of Justice earlier Saturday were heavily redacted, but it indicated the FBI, quote, believes Page has been the subject of target recruitment by the Russian government. So what? To undermine and influence the outcome of the 2016 U.S. presidential election in violation of U.S. criminal law. Then let Trump know. Why didn't they're bluffing? They did not let Trump know. They didn't let the country know. And Obama was saying on CNN, it's impossible to rig an election. They're caught with their pants down at every turn. Enough with the put your pants up. Put your pants up. How many times their pants down? How many times their pants down? They're caught with their pants down all the time. If the previous admin was funneling campaign research towards surveillance, we need to know now. The lawmaker was responding, Mark Meadows, to Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton's claim the documents appear to confirm the FBI and DOJ misled courts. Well, of course they did. What do you think? They're going to tell the courts that Hillary purchased the stupid Steele dossier? The Steele dossier is garbage documents, stupid. It's the dumbest thing in the world. It's a dumb, stupid opposition research gossip-filled document. It's so stupid. That's funny. Top ethics Dem calls for someone to resign. That's an oxymoron. Ethics and Democrats. Given this corruption, President Trump should intervene and declassify the heavily redacted material. Of course he should. Fitton said. And by the way, when Trump told the intelligence community to F themselves, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to invite Putin. Good. Fantastic. Go ahead and prove. And they concluded. They also concluded the Gulf of Tonkin that the Maddox was attacked, which it wasn't. They also concluded Iraq had WMD, which they didn't. They didn't conclude anything regarding 9/11, the Arab Spring, and a whole bunch of other things. The Fisa warrant application for Page's surveillance have been at the heart of GOP claims of bias against President Trump. Of course, it's not claims of bias. They hated Trump. That's what happens. You know, I want to thank Buzz Lightyear. You're absolutely wonderful. Thank you. But also remember, there's people like Christopher Hitchens. There's people like who went against the grain all the time, and he was lived and he was fine. Thank you so very, very much, Buzz Lightyear, though. Yeah, I mean, all of this is a bunch of, it's overt. We know Trump Russia was fabricated. We know Clinton's a walking criminal. So get to it, Sessions. Sessions like, well, I'll be darned. Look at this. We have China and Iran and Iran and all these wonderful countries funneling and siphoning Clinton's emails. Well, I'll be darned. I wonder what could have happened to national security. I'm just going to deliberate on this for about 5,000 billion trillion years. And I'll come to a conclusion when the Earth reaches the sun and blows up. For more than a year, House Republicans have bullied the Department of Justice. Oh, here we go. Pelosi. Katharine Hepburn. For more than a year, House Republicans have bullied the Department of Justice. An FBI released highly sensitive documents to derail the special counsel and other legitimate national security investigations. What? The special counsel is not a legitimate investigation. It was started by Comey's queasy, dumb, stupid memos for the sake of national security and our democracy. These vital investigations. You're going to lose, Pelosi. Again. Rebecca. It's not they hated Trump. He won, so they had to reverse engineer a Fisa to cover their tracks, aka insurance policy. Yep. Pretty much. Yep. Pretty much. Absolutely. All of this is done. All of this was done under the guise of protecting an election when they lost. They lost the election and they outspent Trump 2-1. And then what they did was they said, oh, well, we have to investigate possible Trump ties. You don't go ahead and have a special counsel investigate with something that isn't even linked to a crime. Then you have people like on the left saying, well, Watergate took years. So what? Watergate or Benghazi or, what's his name? Monica Lewinsky issue. Things took place. Bill Clinton did get the Watergate. The building was broken into. Something happened. We do not even know if there was a hack. We have to rely on a third-party source. We have no clue. The United States government has zero, is not certain, yet they're going ahead and representing and doing everything on behalf of a private organization. Why? The DNC, the Yahtzee won. Thank you, sponsoring chamomile tea for HA after this show. He will need it. Thank you, the Yahtzee. You are absolutely wonderful. You are absolutely wonderful, the Yahtzee. Thank you, the Yahtzee. Thank you. The Yahtzee. Thank you so very, very much. We have 1,175 people. What is Jim Jordan saying about this? Well, this is... Jim Jordan is a year and a half with President Trump. Lower taxes, reduced regulations, unemployment down, economy growing. Gorsuch on the court. Kavanaugh on deck. Out of Arundel embassy in Jerusalem. Hostages home from North Korea. But Comey says, change course, really? 24,000. Trump is going to easily win in 2020. The only thing that could hurt him is if, God forbid, there's an extradition for Assange. Then you have the way the Democrats are playing this is they're like, well, let's get Trump to kowtow, and then he'll get into a First Amendment quagmire. By helping Trump, I'm not helping myself. By helping Trump, I'm helping the country. The alternative to helping Trump would be helping Clinton. That would be very similar to helping Satan. I don't want to help Satan. Satan? Just like in, what's his name? Well, isn't that special? Satan? Hold on, let's see. So let's go ahead and Carter Page. 2016. The mystery of Trump's men in Moscow. Oh my God. Carter Page. Who is Carter Page? The mystery of Trump's man in Moscow. What happened to Hillary's man in Moscow? Billy Boy Clinton. What happened to that man of mystery? Man of mystery. Carter Page, this is 2016. Politico, September. No offense to anyone. Great article. We also know that, by the way, the FBI was cultivating a story among journalists to then justify its ridiculous nonsense. We know that Mother Jones journalists were giving information and feeding information. Free Kekistan. Is there a release date yet on our H.A. Good Cuddle plushies? Or are you still in negotiations? Free Kekistan. I'm going to try to get my behind ready for the shirts. I'm trying to get the shirts and then the 5th book done. The Good Cuddle plushies, I don't know if anybody would really want to make them. But I guess I'm in negotiations. Free Kekistan! Free Kekistan is awesome. Thank you, Free Kekistan. Russian collusion shirt, yep. There doesn't seem to be one in the world of Trump in which some ways resembles Putin's. The waters of truth are muddied and deeply suggestive. What? How? Muddied how? Like uranium? They sold uranium. They sold 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. They got bupkis. They got nothing. How much did you ask? Nothing. It's unbelievable how all of this actual money trails and transfers and hidden servers and millions of dollars in uranium and all of this stuff. And, it's like, well, there's nothing there. We don't have to be suspicious. Meanwhile, like, somebody in Trump's administration goes to the bathroom in Moscow. Did went to the bathroom? We must investigate. Swanee Scotty, here's an idea for a t-shirt. I don't want to be GOHMERT. And please, anything but the Gomer. Swanee Scotty. Yes. The People's Gomer. That's a good one, too. You're right, Swanee Scotty. Thank you. They're investigating, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, they're investigating the uranium exports and imports. Gee, where have we heard that? So Sessions is investigating that. It's going to lead to, ladies and gentlemen, 1,150 people. Ebenezer Adams. Is that some kind of code? Ebenezer Adams. When Hillary is charged with pick a crime, any crime, and people say, oh my God, this is unbelievable. What's going on? Trump's a dictator. Oh my God. And then they're going to jettison Clinton as fast as you can say, I don't even know. Bill Clinton's, Monica Lewinsky, whatever. I don't even know. They're going to jettison her after a couple of days but when people say, oh my God, this is unprecedented, who would have known? I've been telling you forever. You and I have known. Hillary will be charged eventually. You cannot, it's not a matter of truth winning out. Truth doesn't always. How about AJ Action Figures? Free Kekistan. Free Kekistan, that would be awesome. Free Kekistan, that would be awesome. It's not a matter, ladies and gentlemen, of truth or justice winning out, because truth or justice get trampled on every day in some way or another. It's in some part of the world. It's a matter of throwing up because you drank too much. And the analogy would be you're a sloppy criminal. You know that song, Smooth Criminal? Clinton is a sloppy criminal. They should do a remake. Sloppy criminal. Da-da-da-da-da. She's a sloppy criminal. I'm just going to put a basement server in my basement with top secret special access program intelligence, and then buy a FISA warrant, and then blame Russia for hacking the DNC without any evidence, and then get Comey and Clapper and Brennan and Strzok and Page and Kleinsmith and Moyer and all these FBI agent 1 and 2. They're all being going to get exposed by the Office of Professional Responsibility. Then Sessions is going to utilize that for eventual flipping and singing. Even if Hillary bails out, we should at least get the pleasure of seeing her purple. I think what will take place is she'll delicately receive notice. Delicately receive notice. And that's the best we can hope for. At least it'll be on the books that she's a criminal or that she's been charged for crimes. No one believes any of this nonsense. Carter Page wanted Trump to take a 2016 trip to Russia. So what? November 6, 2017. So what? You don't even know if that's true. And if it's true, yeah. And Bill Clinton met with Putin during the uranium sale. So what? Carter Page met with Russian officials in 2016. Anyone could be a Russian official in Russia. Anyone. So what? Bill Clinton met with Putin. Bill Clinton met with Putin. Newsweek. And zero suspicion, apparently. Papa D, what's a fava bean? A friend asked. A fava bean is just an awesome very delicious bean. I don't even know if this is part of a joke, but so here we have all these, this nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, I'm going to upload me shooting my CZ97B 45 ACP. today. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe what's happening with wow, that is a hardcore awesome Ray McGovern, Kim.com, Susie Dawson, Elizabeth Voss. Wow. That was hardcore. Baby elephants are born weighing 250 pounds. They are the biggest babies on earth, except for the Democrats. This is interesting.
In American history, he was hatred toward the 45th president of the level of hatred toward the 45th president of the United States is beyond anything we've seen in American history. He was once an icon, sought after for movies, television, by politicians on both sides of the aisle, sports figures, and yes, even the media. Then he ran for president. Now Donald Trump is the target of vitriol so palpable, it's simply frightening, and reason has become irrelevant. We can't have conversations anymore, and the ripple is national in scope. Family, friends, acquaintances can't even talk to each other. They remove each other from Facebook, and they change dinner and family gathering plans for the holidays depending on their politics. It's almost impossible to have a rational discussion that doesn't turn into a food fight.
And this is because there's nothing driving hatred of Trump. There's nothing driving hatred of Trump except like bitterness that Clinton lost. There are no policies. So when Bernie Sanders was what I thought somebody who was going to shake the system up, I wrote this today, ladies and gentlemen, on Twitter, and where is this thing that I wrote? Where is this thing? Okay, so so I wrote on Twitter basically the fact that Bernie is not who I thought he was. And it's just so sad too, because so many people I wrote, here's one thing I wrote. Thank God Trump won. At least he told the world he loves WikiLeaks. This hatred of WikiLeaks fueled 90% by DNC. President Sanders would have done worse. Anything HRC wanted. I was wrong about Bernie. His strongest advocates were wrong. Now he's firmly a pawn of Democrats. Sad, which is true. I mean, the truth hurts. Believe me, it hurts. Then I wrote, Dear Bernie Sanders, essentially, I hope you enjoy working at the DNC. I said, basically, you could be DNC chair because you've pushed the Russia myth used against you. You've ignored the cheating of your voters, $200 million worth. You're now a DNC tool. Ordinarily, that would hurt me to say, but But that doesn't hurt me to say now. Here's a guy who benefited from WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. You talk about Trump benefiting. Talk about Trump benefiting. Trump didn't necessarily benefit. Bernie benefited. Trump was not named Clinton, which was already like the biggest selling point. But Bernie benefited from knowing how he was cheated. They tried to use his Jewish religion against him. They tried to paint him as an atheist, which is not a bad thing, but to them it was a bad thing. Oh, let's paint him an atheist because an atheist is easier to beat than a Jew in the South. So this is not sustainable. Every second, every day, it's not sustainable. All of this is going to lead to more and more people removing and divorcing themselves. Removing and divorcing themselves from the Democratic Party or from any semblance of, people who don't like Trump are going to sit home or vote for Trump at a protest again. And you have these stupid polls that are just as ridiculous as they were. I mean, they're just public relations firms right now. They're essentially public relations firms. Midterm election polls. Polls are always skewed towards Democrats, and they're always horribly wrong. Only 28% of young voters say they will certainly vote. Yeah, well, it's probably less than that, and they're moving away from Democrats anyway. Bad news for Democrats. Yeah, recent polls show they're more eager to get out to the polls than Republicans. Not. Democrats need to energize young voters and voters of color, both of whom are leaving Democrats. So this is like, Republicans have a millennial problem. Okay, yeah, whatever. Luckily for them, millennials don't consistently vote. Okay. Let's look at the Real Color Politics polls. Right. What the biggest bunch of baloney I've ever seen in my life. It was down to 3.3 points, which was the margin of error, again, in June. Then Trump presided over peace between North and South Korea, the beginning of peace, détente, and then the polls moved away. Yo, mama, I am beside myself with the level of denial seeping out of the left. Thank you for all you do, HA. Keep on getting the facts out. Thank you. Thank you so much, yo, mama. Thank you. Thank you. The level of denial is just insane. It is just literally just, it's so ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. They don't even realize that how they sound. They don't realize that everyone's laughing at them and looking at them like, are these people serious? If you're pushing the Russia myth, doesn't matter what media platform you're on, you are not only a fool, but a tool. A toolish fool. Democrats are not up 8 points. There's zero enthusiasm, and hating Trump is completely fabricated. There's no reason to hate Trump. Well, he's a racist. If that's your vantage point, you should despise Clinton. Clinton actually did and said worse than Trump ever did. Well, he's crazy. Why? For peace between North and South Korea, for peace with Russia? Well, he represents this and that represents that. Yeah, that's a lofty political ideology that if you really cared about, you would despise Clinton. Again, people used to tell me like 2 years ago, why are you focusing on Clinton? Oh, yeah. Well, she's front and center. She's more relevant today than she was even when she lost miserably. They hate Trump because all they have is hate of Trump. That's all they have is hate. They don't have anything. There's no policy that they can go ahead and abolish ICE. Well, Obama went ahead and deported how many? 2.5 million immigrants. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chad Davis, HA's theme song, Goodman by Raphael Sadiq. Not just a pun on the surname. The DNC did our buddy wrong. Yes, absolutely. Chad Davis, thank you so very much. Absolutely. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. They did Bernie wrong, and Bernie is going to be just a tool for the Democratic Party and all the cheerleaders. He's pushing the Russia myth. Page may see a community deal to come clean on Strzok, McCabe, even Comey. Let's do it. Give Page the immunity deal. Give her the immunity deal. Give her the immunity deal. Let's get this show on the road. When the thing comes crashing down, they won't know what to do. Toggle of Bilgan. Progressives undermine the polls with their aggressive tactics towards anyone who doesn't say they're a Democrat. Exactly. People either won't answer or lie to avoid confrontation. Absolutely. Absolutely. The polls were skewed. They're always skewed. Toggle of Bilgan, they're always skewed. They're always skewed. And that's why, when Clinton was up by 20, I was like, nah, she's going to lose. And she lost. And I was like, if it's Trump, she's going to lose for sure. One thing Bernie had before he completely became a tool of the system that he claimed to fight, one thing Bernie had was a vision of policies. You need to have enthusiasm linked directly to policy. You cannot have it linked to an emotion devoid of policy. Rebecca, Brennan briefed Harry Reid, who then sent letter to Comey to initiate investigation. How obvious can it get? Rebecca, you say it better than everything you say is better than I can say it. Yes. Yes. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. It is so obvious. It's so ridiculous that I have friends who are like, yeah, Putin, huh? Putin, huh? I was like, this is not 1950. This is not the Cold War. This is not the Cold War. Nosicle J, Trump derangement syndrome now includes the symptoms of foaming at the mouth and involuntary spitting. Your favorite president and mine did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. Except win. That cardinal sin to Democrats. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is just unbelievable. So, it'll be interesting when all of this. So Toggle of Bilgan, you're 100% right. The polls are a joke. Nosicle J, you're right. For example, Whoopi Goldberg, she was like, complete hyperbole, because Judge Jeanine Pirro was like, look, the economy's great. Well, every sentence starts with, these people are rapists. Who starts every sentence? Oh, and Trump tells people to fight. No, he doesn't. It was like one thing he was obviously being whatever boisterous or it was some bravado there, but he didn't say it was actually Democrats who were forced to resign for fomenting violence at Trump rallies. It was 2 Democratic operatives were forced to resign for fomenting. That's CNN. It was Project Veritas. CNN even covered it. And then they got a CNN producer to be like, oh yeah, by the way, there's nothing there. Even Peter Strzok said there's no there. Russia didn't hack the DNC. You think Russia's like, well, we're going to make sure that everybody knows Bernie Sanders was cheated. We already knew he was given a raw deal. We already knew, and the Democrats are going to get crushed, and they're going to crush people on the left, and the left is going to crush itself. The poop flows downhill, believe me. Operative. Believe me. The left hates itself. I used to be on the left. Every day was like, you suck, you're worthless, you suck, you're a moron, you idiot, you poser, you suck, you know, you're stupid. And that's a good day. Once I left and I say, hey, I'm voting for Trump 2020, expose the deep state, expose Comey. And then Whoopi Goldberg's like, how long has the deep state existed, by the way? Well, it was an article in Bill Moyers. You can go ahead and there was an international relations scholar or a political scholar who coined the phrase during the Obama administration. So then you have pictures of everyone with Putin. Bill Clinton, Schumer, Hillary, but of course, now Putin's the bad guy. They sell 20% of U.S. uranium, but Putin's the bad guy now. Democrats are not up by 7. If anything, they're very likely either maybe barely up. Barely up, or they're going to lose miserably. When they lose again, they fail to get 20. They need 24 seats. They need to do better. They need to do better than expected. They're not going to do better than expected. And then when they lose again, and Jim Jordan is Speaker of the House, which he should be, and you can have any Mark Meadows, Devin Nunes, Gohmert. Put Gohmert Speaker of the House. You'll have every day a party. Every single day a party. 45 needs to give Jeff Sessions, a.k.a. Keebler, the boot. The Keebler elf, Jeff Sessions, is who knows what he's doing. What we do know, and we certainly know. Thank you. I love Detroit. Thank you. We have 1,223 people here. What we do know, ladies and gentlemen, we know that Sessions hates the Clinton Foundation, hates Clinton. They all hate Clinton. All of them. High-ranking Trump official we know they all hate Clinton. Hate Clinton. Think she's evil. Well, isn't that special? Dana Carvey. But at the end of the day, this is a slow descent into madness. They have no hate. Oh, what about Clinton? What about Clinton? Oh, what about Hillary? What about Trump? Trump did this, Trump did that. They have these imaginary racists, just like they have imaginary shooters. They have the imaginary people. Well, if you limit magazine capacity, then that has no bearing on anything. Well, Trump emboldens the racist. No, the racists existed before Trump. They'll exist after Trump. You can have Kamala Harris as president. You can have Pelosi as president. You can have President Pelosi. And the Catherine Hepburn of Democratic politics. And you still have racists and crazy people. They don't need to be emboldened. Crazy people don't need to be emboldened. Oh, look what happened to Charlottesville. That was a photo op by Governor Terry McAuliffe that killed, that resulted in the murder, the death of a woman, Heather Heyer. Why isn't Terry McAuliffe experiencing criminal charges for what he did? Nobody knows if he told the police to stand down, but the police don't stand down. Even at a football game, the police will crack. It is LA or any if you rush the field. I've been on the field in the Coliseum actually. When we beat UCLA, USC beat UCLA in '99, and then went on a long streak of its own. USC has what 20 plus more wins than UCLA in the series. But there are times if you let's say you're at a football game and the police are like, don't go on the field, they'll crack your head very likely if you go on the field. That day they didn't do that, although I think I heard some students got. But in any protest, if the police go, okay, that's it, it's enough, especially if there's like two sides or like, right then the police will descend and they'll take their batons and they'll take their shields and they'll crack you over the head, and they will with tear gas or whatever, they will do everything possible to make everyone disperse. Isn't it interesting? In Charlottesville, that didn't happen. Gee, wonder why. Maybe somebody should ask Terry McAuliffe. Or maybe not. Maybe the Democrats wouldn't want that. People on the left are like, oh my God, it's like they're Alamo, but they don't realize that it was set up. Obviously, because the police never let that type of thing get out of control. And they think that it was a battle, it was a win against hatred and racism and anti-Semitism. No, it wasn't. The Democrats have played everyone, and they've turned the left on against each other. People that used to follow me for a long time, then I got into arguments with. Because I said, as a student, as a Jew, who studied the Holocaust ever since he was a little boy, because we were in a religious Hebrew school, we studied the Holocaust and everything that took place. I said, the Charlottesville guys with the tiki torches, they're not Nazis. So don't go ahead and say that they're just like Rudolf Hess or Adolf Eichmann or Goebbels or Hitler. Don't do that, because then you muddy the waters of history, which is exactly what Democrats want to do. But then, of course, oh my God, you're really wrong, then all this stuff, then, there's no historical, there's no context, there's no nuance. Everybody is either a Nazi sympathizer, Nazi, even if you're Jewish. And by the way, they all hate Israel. All the people who hate Nazis also hate Israel. Isn't that funny? Funny how that works. I don't care. You can critique Israel fine, but they hate Israel. They hate Israel with passion. So I find that interesting too. All the people who would fight fascism also hate Israel. That's interesting also. You bring up Hamas, it's like, how dare you? Like, what do you mean, how dare you? I actually want a Palestinian state. That's like what people don't get. I want a Palestinian state, and like people are like, oh, whatever. So like, what do you want to? You just gonna go ahead and virtue signal on Twitter? That's gonna help the Palestinian people? How do you plan to? Well, look at this photo. Look at this. Look at that. Well, what about on the other side? The bad things on the other side. You can't do that. Oh my God. And so everything is just, if you've done, and that's also the thing. Like, what's happening is they're calling like anyone they disagree with a white supremacist. So it's like, even if I think Cernovich is Jewish, they called Mike Cernovich a white supremacist because he got like, he exposed tweets that these tweets got a producer fired, and then other tweets got other people fired, and then the Huffington Post, which I was published it like 200 plus times, and my articles went viral. Many often about Bernie Sanders, and when I thought that he was somebody different from who he is. I was also very honored to be published in Huffington Post Black Voices. I was on HuffPost Live with Mark Lamont Hill. He invited me on to talk about an article I wrote regarding Michael Brown. So, but now it's like they've gone to new levels, like the left. the quote unquote left or liberal establishment, they've doubled down, tripled down. They're now inventing new euphemisms to silence any conservative voice they think is too extreme. Because Hillary calling black youth super predators was apparently to them enough okay to vote for as president of the United States of America. Or Hillary taking prison lobbyist donations, or Hillary calling a Mahatma Gandhi a gas station attendant. That's Hillary Clinton, ladies and gentlemen. If anyone made a joke about calling Mahatma Gandhi a gas station attendant, I'm going to have to remove that one. If anyone made a joke like Hillary Clinton, they would never, ever, 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 ever be allowed to run. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to call it an evening. What's taking place is the slow descent of the left into absolute madness. Now they tried to link the NRA to Russia, which is hilarious. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. By the way, at the range, you see everyone from people of Middle Eastern descent to African Americans to Latinos, women. Everyone loves firearms. Everyone loves the range. And Los Angeles is a diverse place. People of all Asian Americans, all people enjoying the Second Amendment. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Bill Binney was right. FISA courts are a joke. How many others based on flimsy lies is probable cause? Exactly. No more Fourth Amendment. Exactly. Rebecca, exactly. Exactly. But at the end of the day, like, what do they don't... No, weapons are not bravery at all. But it's Second Amendment. You have the right to, defend yourself and enjoy. Like, one thing that it's enjoyable. It's just enjoyable. It's a catharsis. You have to be safe. Always, always point the firearm in a direction where, if God forbid it goes off, nobody's around. You point forward at the target. You do not mess around. You do not mess around. Always treat every firearm as if it's loaded. Bill Binney was right. FISA courts are a joke. How many others based on flimsy lies is probable cause? Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you. Right after this, I'm going to go ahead and upload Second Amendment, HA Second Amendment. You'll see my 97 CZ97B in action. It's an interesting firearm. It's actually it's pretty awesome. The range I was shooting at, like, all the targets were like 25 to 50 yards away. So it was, and it was really sunny. So it was a little bit difficult to hit the targets, but it was fun, a lot of fun. Thank you. Well, I appreciate everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, let everybody know about this channel. Please go ahead. Paul Sperry, my man Sean, thank you, Sean. And Eric H526, always Sean, thank you. Wow, confirmed. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen. Confirmed, you read it here first. That's true. U.S. Judge Ann C. Conway and U.S. Judge Raymond J. Deary are among 4 FISA court judges who rubber-stamped illegal FISA warrants signed by Comey, McCabe, Yates. Paul Sperry is no joke. He's no joke. Paul Sperry is awesome. Paul Sperry is awesome. 2 people way more awesome than I am, and I tip my hat to them, and I tip my hat, and I don't even know, like, I'm not worthy. Way more awesome, if I'm even considered awesome, are Paul Sperry and Tom Fitton. They're like the tip of the sword, ladies and gentlemen. That's true. Patricia Marino. No more Fourth Amendment. Black people shot down by police. It's true, Patricia Marino. And that happened very often. Unarmed black citizens were being killed under President Obama's watch. Paul Sperry. So Sean, thank you, Sean, as always. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Eric H526. Wanker Plutonium. Love is great. Yes. That is one of the better names I've heard. Wanker Plutonium. Love is great. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow. We'll have some special segments tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be very likely a very interesting day. This week, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to have the best live streams this week, because this week is just going to be unbelievable. Paul Clank, new plushies at hashtag HA Good Cuddle. Paul Clank, you are the man. Thank you so much. Poo-poo out. Everyone, thank you, Kathleen. I love all of you. Thank you very much. God bless. Have a great, great evening. This is a great segment. It's going down, ladies and gentlemen. The Fisa charade has been exposed. To my super chat, you've been absolutely wonderful. Thank you. Give me every incentive to rock these live streams. Thank you. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow.